Hey gang, welcome back to another exciting episode with members of the Florida Powerboat Club, and we are celebrating 26 years with the club and the 26th edition of the Key West Offshore Poker Run, our epic journey from Miami to Key West. It happens every year in November, and we couldn't have better weather than we have this time around. We are getting into episode 7, and this is presented, as always, by Mercury Racing. Wide open. That's right. That's how we drive our boats, guys. Wide open as we enjoy the performance of Mercury Racing Power outboards and stern drive. And on big poker runs, we have big prizes, and Off Lease Only has supplied us once again with a grand prize car. It's a Chevy Silverado pickup truck that is going to go home with the lucky winner of this poker run. And let's pick it up exactly where we left off in our last episode. We were in Marathon, and we had just completed a poker card rendezvous with this beautiful yacht. She's called Negotiator, and she is sponsored by NextEra Energy Marketing, and that's where we got the bonus cart so that we could play our hands out in Key West for the big Saturday party. But that also signifies that it's time to hit the throttles and start heading for that last 50-mile offshore leg as we head out from Marathon through the 7-mile bridge or through the Bahia Honda Bridge, as you wish. But I can assure you of one thing: the ocean conditions today, as we catch up here with Tony DeWall from Michigan, are absolutely fantastic. And I know that these guys, whether they have a big catamaran like Tony's 40-foot skater or an offshore V-bottom, a center console, it really doesn't matter. The conditions today are ideal for any size boat as they head offshore, heading for Key West. Well, we just saw Tony and his 40 skater, and that means that Don Doty can't be far away. That's right. Two buddies from Michigan who do this run every year, and they always travel together with these skaters side by side. Don Doty here in this 42-foot skater powered by Mercury Racing 1350s, and those M8 drives are doing their job right now, surface piercing and throwing hundreds of gallons of water out for that amazing rooster tail that spans, probably 200 feet or more behind the boat. And here's what the guys are seeing up here in the FPC R44 helicopter, and that's what you guys are going to see as you make this turn out through the Moser Channel and the 7-mile bridge. Or you can stay inside like Howard did here in his Apache and a number of other boats, and you can actually transit out to the ocean through the Bahia Honda Bridge. And that is exactly where we now catch up with George and Ann Ariano from Ocala, Florida, in their 36-foot Sensation, as they really get what I consider to be the money shot. You've got the low sun now and this nice wide shot as they cross underneath the bridge in good water, and they're going to be making their way in very, very calm seas. And that's always reassuring to anybody in any size boat as you make that final leg down to Key West. Looks like George has got his hands off the wheel. Look, Mom, no hands. Look, Mom, no feet. But George has had a hard time deciding which boat to bring. I guess he could have brought any of his boats. He owns a bunch of catamarans too, but it's always a big decision. But you can never go wrong with that 36-foot Sensation V-bottom powered by Mercury Racing 540 stern drives, the very same engine package we installed in the Project 1080 cigarette. And speaking of classic cigarettes, let's welcome Scott and Natalie Polio from New Jersey in their 1989 35-foot cigarette Cafe Racer, a boat that had a makeover several years back, but they just bought the boat from Texas and celebrated really their 20th anniversary of their wedding, and it's a 20th anniversary cigarette Cafe Racer, so that was an appropriate fit. Also, Scott mentioned that it's the 25th anniversary of his business, Polio Construction. So a lot of celebrating to do, and no better way to do it than in your own boat on the Key West Poker Run. And there's Natalie with the big wave. Yeah, baby, she's having fun today. But thanks for joining us, guys. So glad you could make it. And now we get to spend a little bit more time with Amy and Howard Bindit, all the way from Michigan, with this 41-foot Apache Tatanka. And you've got to love the roar of those Sterling engines. And Howard just spent about a year getting the boat restored. But interesting story that this Tatanka was actually in the Florida Powerboat Club in its previous life and has attended this poker run on a number of occasions in the past. But here she is today. Amy and Howard have always wanted to do the Key West poker run, so this is their first time, and congratulations on a great restoration project. They trailered the boat all the way from Michigan, 1,400 miles one way. Gotta love that. That's dedication. On board, along with his wife Amy, they've got their friends Dave, Aaron, and Courtney riding along. Nice to have you guys here, and glad you could finally make it to Key West with us. And let's say hi to Kevin and Oksana Klein in their 2007 Donzi 43ZR. They came a long way to attend, all the way from Evergreen, Colorado, but they did make a stop at their summer house in Lake of the Ozarks to pick up the boat. She's got some big power, Teague 1200s, big tube headers, number 6 drives, all power, and runs on race fuel. And if you like loud, big horsepower, this is a boat you want to follow around all day when you're heading to Key West, because she is wound up nice now and she sounds like a charm. Now let's make a very special welcome to George Takula, all the way from Northern Europe. He actually lives in Switzerland, but does most of his boating in Sweden and in Finland with this 447 Predator powered by Mercury Racing 1350s. And he came to visit me here at the office just a couple of weeks ago and was telling me that it's really not that expensive to ship a boat this size back and forth across the ocean. So it's something that some of us might want to consider sometime, because he has all the contacts and it's a lot less money than you'd think. But one day we're going to get to join George and his crew. We're going to do the poker run in Sweden and cross over to the Finland side. And he showed me some pictures and some maps and charts, and it looks like a very inviting experience. I can't wait to get my chance to do that one time very soon. Now let's welcome David Gordon, who lives in Southwest Florida. A brand new Nortec 39 center console. Beautiful boat. Love the paint and graphics, the silver with the green highlights. We saw a lot of this boat in the last episode of the Poker Run coverage, but I do want to welcome David because it is his first time, but also he's one of 32 Nortecs registered for the run, and they put on a great show. And here's a boat that I fell in love with years ago when it was first released. This is the Nortec 42 Monte Carlo. We've got Trond Skau, co-owner of Nortec, and Eskil Hansen all the way from Norway on board today. And actually we got a chance to ride along and have some fun. The FPC girls on board, I got a chance to ride with them for a while, but then I got up in the helicopter, and now I'm getting this bird's eye view of this incredible 42 Monte Carlo. She's powered by Mercury Racing 565s, which is a great power package. And there's apparently a nice package there in the back seat too. One of our FPC girls giving us a little booty action. That's a spirited girl, I must say. But they've also equipped some of these Monte Carlos with diesel power. And I think that it's a boat that attracts a lot of yacht owners as a tender. So I believe that several of these have been shipped over to Europe, and you're going to find them popping up in the Mediterranean, tagging along with a 150-foot yacht. But I do want to thank Nortec High Performance Boats, Trond and Niels and the whole gang there. Henrik, who's been working with Florida Powerboat Club more recently. And, of course, Marissa for giving us that little hiney shot. What a great time, guys. A spirited team and a fun bunch of people to hang out with. Thanks for the support you've given us all these years. Now let's welcome Ron and Dana McLean from the Boats Direct Group, who own and operate both Deep Impact and Blackwater boats. And this, of course, the new Blackwater 43. Well, she's not that new anymore. The boat was released about 2 years earlier. This is the latest, though, this all-white with 4 Mercury Racing 400R Verados. She certainly has some traditional fishing lines, but these boats are now becoming very popular with the poker run set, especially the 39 model, which has a stepped bottom. But she's a big, heavy machine with a lot of fuel capacity, ideal for long-range cruising. And in the world of doing makeovers on powerboats, Matt and Anne-Marie Raymond have taken it to the next level with this Fountain 48 Express Cruiser that originally got a set of 4 Mercury Verados, but now Brian Forehand, their rigger, decided that they would bolt on a 5th. And now here for this Key West Poker Run, the second time this boat has made it in its new format, but with 5 Mercury outboards. And imagine all the extra space you've got taking those big diesel engines out of that engine room. Well, that's a giant storage room for all their friends' luggage, and you can see they like to bring a lot of people when they come to Key West. And a very special welcome to Rich Bennett from South Carolina, who also has a home in Lighthouse Point, Florida. This amazing 57-foot MTI with 4 Mercury Racing 400R Verados. What a beast, nothing like it. In fact, I had my boat into custom pipe design, getting some work done, and while I was there, they were building this tower, and they just delivered the tower to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show as this 57 was on display. You know, we're just talking about a couple of weeks earlier. So Rich has just taken delivery of the boat, and she's up and cruising for the first time to Key West. So Richard, thanks for joining us on the Poker Run. I know that your heart is in fishing, and I know you're going to be fishing this boat at a lot of tournaments in the months to come, but good luck with that. She's a beauty. Now let's say hi to Brian Forehand and his crew. He's riding along with the entire Matt Raymond crew from North Carolina, Marker 17 Marine. We all know Brian with all his years at Fountain Powerboats. He's been rigging them, racing them, building them. Now he sells them, but he's the kind of guy that you need to know if you want to do some custom work on your Fountain. He's done dozens of them, does a great job, and has a lot of experience. But he also gets to play every once in a while, so he's riding along here, having fun, heading for Key West with the group, and he comes to this event every year. So Brian, thanks to you and your crew for your diehard support, joining us again here in Key West. And here's a couple all the way from Texas, Tom and Rachel Reagan, who made a full swing in their boating lifestyle, going from a 38-foot cigarette Top Gun to this 36-foot Nortec Super Cat. And it won't really be considered a classic, at least not yet, but think about this. This 3600 Super Cat came out in 2002. This model is a 2006, and it just got a complete makeover. Tom spent well over a year working on this boat. Mercury Racing 700s, some new paint. I love the rally stripe theme with the dark charcoal and then the darker stripes down the center. This is a super cool boat. Love the way it turned out, and it sounds like she just runs like a champ. So congratulations to you two on getting this Nortec Super Cat in your stable, and hope you have a lot of fun with this boat. It's absolutely perfect. So while these guys are having fun heading for Key West, let's break away and head back towards Marathon and rejoin that 105-foot motor yacht Negotiator, sponsored by NextEra Energy Marketing. Now remember, at the beginning of the show, we just had a glimpse of this boat, but on the previous episode, they had a major party going on because this is where they handed out the bonus card here just off of Ferro Blanco. But now it's time for them to get underway, and we just want to show you how the other side of the Poker Run lives, because every year Mark Palanchian and many of his guests, usually over 30 VIP guests, will get on board this big yacht, which is captained by Alan Sasson, who's been involved with the Florida Powerboat Club for years. But this is an annual get-together that they have every year, and that's why we like to have them as our bonus card yacht, because it's a great way to have a party, and a lot of these guys have never really seen a poker run before, so to be able to be on this yacht, hand off the poker card, and then get underway with all of the fixings on board, great food and entertainment, and they're going to get a nice scenic ride heading out here through Marathon now at the 7 Mile Bridge at the Moser Channel. And Captain Allen's got this boat rolling along pretty good. She cruises at about 30 knots. She's a performance yacht. So their ride to Key West is going to be just under 2 hours, and they're going to be arriving just before sunset. This gives me an opportunity to talk a little bit about the yachting community who are involved in the Key West Poker Run, because many of our club members, they have a speedboat, but they also have a yacht. And this year at A&B Marina in the main Key West Harbor, we are going to have room for about a dozen or more yachts. So this year, if you're planning to bring a yacht, if you'd like to bring one, this is the first year that we're going to be able to accommodate at least a dozen or more yachts. So you can always just give me a call here at the club office if you want to take part in that program. And the slips that we're talking about are going to be limited to about 18-foot beam and no bigger than 75 feet. So if your boat fits that category, then chances are we're going to be able to set you up. Meanwhile, thank you very much to NextEra Energy Marketing and to Mark Palanchian. He's also a power boater. He owns a Formula Go Fast boat and a Power Play race boat. But this year he decided he was going to leave the power boats back at home, and he actually chartered through another club member a 38-foot Statement, which he was able to use in Key West on Saturday to give all of his friends rides out through the harbor and out towards the raft-up party at Woman Key. So thanks once again to Mark Palanchian and the NextEra Energy Marketing Group for their continued support and participation on this Key West Poker Run. And And as we catch up one more time with Richard Bennett and his 57-foot MTI, we're looking right into the Key West Harbor, and we see a number of boats are now arriving to Key West. So this will finish that Thursday leg, and well over 150 boats that traveled today, bringing our Key West total to well over 200 boats altogether that have made it here over the last 2 days. So it's a pretty amazing number, and it's really what makes this such an epic poker run. But really what is epic is just the conditions that we've had. To be able to just sit in the harbor like this and enjoy the sunset, and with the light winds, there's really no big waves. And I think that the conditions that we had for this edition of the Key West run were some of the best that we've seen in recent years. And of course, here's the shot that we all love to see, that amazing Key West historic seaport, which includes to the left of your screen the Galleon Marina, and right there in the middle is the A&B Marina. As we close in on the Poker Run Village, there's the Conch Republic Seafood Company, the sponsor dock, and of course the Poker Run Village there. And while we're up here, just to the left, you can see those white 3-story, 4-story condos. That's Old Town Villas. That's the space that we used to occupy for the village, and they've since built and finished that. They did a beautiful job. A nice shot of the Conch Republic Seafood Company and our sponsor dock, and this is why it is such a great location. We're right nestled in the corner of the historic seaport. Everything is right on your doorstep. If you're in any of the hotels like the Marker or the Hyatt or the Pier House or anything downtown along the waterfront here, you pretty much have the best of both worlds. You can walk just a matter of minutes to get over here to the Poker Run Village. And we have got a lot of people here as we just round out the happy hour. Remember, it gets dark by about 5:30 p.m., so the Poker Run Village is really up and running strong by about 6:30 p.m. There's Jackie selling her apparel with Marissa joining in. This is the hot stuff. They sell like hotcakes. Starting on Thursday afternoon, Jackie has it all laid out. There's our second place prize, a Harley-Davidson 750 street motorcycle. Of course, first place is that off-lease only Chevy Silverado pickup. But I really want to thank the gang here at the Conch Republic Seafood Company, because they know exactly what we're looking for. And that is really just a festive atmosphere, a great Poker Run Village. Of course, we get the entire lot attached to the Conch Republic. And these displays, like this Nortec center console and this Performance Boat Center, I think they had 2 or 3 boats on display. This is what everyone wants to come and see. They want to see the latest and the greatest of offshore power boats. There's a brand new Deep Impact right there. There's that Performance Boat Center, Right Performance Cat on a tilt trailer. We had a lot of really cool stuff this year, a lot of new stuff, like Skip Braver's classic 1972 cigarette, alongside my Project 1080-38 Top Gun, made for a very unique cigarette display this year. Usually you see a brand new center console on display, but with 2 classics in there, a 1972 cigarette and a 2000 cigarette Top Gun. Between the two of them, I think that everyone really enjoyed kind of a change of pace for cigarette racing. Of course, exotic cars are a big hit here. McLaren of Boston, their first time here in the Poker Run Village, had about 3 or 4 McLarens on display. And, the cars have always been a big hit, thanks to our friend Mr. Wakab, who has always had some cars on display. But now, this whole new trend has started, and with these McLarens coming in, we really had a lot of cool stuff on display. And we welcomed Concept Boats for their very first time. They had a new 39 center console on display. And we are going to have a lot more space for a 2019 edition of the run as we add on more space. Tracy Gutierrez and Jackie here in the apparel tent, selling all those T-shirts and giving everybody some nice souvenir swag to take home to their family and friends who couldn't be here in Key West. And we have got a big crowd on hand for a Thursday night, and you wonder, where is everybody coming from and why are they here on a Thursday night? Well, I guess I could just say that it's all about the entertainment, and we introduced something that is truly of a Key West flavor 2 years earlier, and that was the Key West Body Painting Expo. It was a big hit, and a lot of local ladies took part, as well as some of our members or attendees, but everyone seemed to love it. It was all in good fun. We did it again last year. It took even to the higher level. We had more people at the village. So this year, our third time, here we are, and there are hundreds of people on hand getting ready for the big show. And we trusted our friend Hector and his lovely wife Mika, who came back and brought some local painters, and they recruited a number of local ladies as well. And some of the ladies actually got off Poker Run boats and went straight to the Poker Run Village and entered themselves in this contest. It's all in good fun. It's all in the true spirit of Key West. You know, we learned about this whole thing by coming down to Key West events like Fantasy Fest and like the Motorcycle Week, which happens in every September. There's the Key West Poker Run that was run by Peterson's Harley Davidson for years. And every time we came down, we'd see this happening over and over on every street corner, in every bar. You know, and one day the light bulb went off in my head, and I thought to myself, you know, why aren't we doing this for our Key West Poker Run? So I called around, and I actually met a few painters when we were in town for the motorcycle event. And it didn't take long before we had a good crop of talent, of talented painters, and we got things started, and it's worked out very, very well. There is a contest involved. There is prize money involved. So we do actually send some girls home with some cash. Not a bad thing. But above all, I think that everyone who comes here is very sort of open-minded about the concept. Let's face it, we're in Key West, and what happens in Key West stays in Key West. Well, until now, because it's on YouTube and thousands of people are watching. But that's okay. I just want to show everybody how much fun we have with the Florida Powerboat Club. And I would have to say that this is a tradition that will perhaps carry on for many years to come.
Can you blame me for wanting more than just a hit and miss? I know we stand for something, but we'll just have to wait for that. You're the only one I ever wanted. You're the only one I comets will never keep us from meeting. We're as strong as the core of Earth. I guess we'll keep rising.
Well, I think that we can all agree this was a wonderful body painting expo, the third year in a row. And I know that some of the girls attending were dancers from local clubs, and we would have all thought that one of them would win with hands down. But actually, and this was a judged event, the winner was one of the crew members from the Negotiator Yacht. So I want to commend her for having the courage to enter the contest, and above all, congratulations for winning, because you really had some tough competition. Well, this wraps up a huge Thursday, no doubt about it, with all of the boats coming down from Miami, weaving through the Florida Keys to Key West. Now it's only Thursday night, but we've still got 3 days in Key West and a lot of activities ahead of us. Of course, the highlight is going to be the fun run on Saturday, where we're going to see about 150 or more boats head out to the Mule Keys into the Woman Key area, so it's still part of the sanctuary, but has the blessings of the Sanctuary Refuge Office because we're not going up on the beach. We're going to stay away from Boca Grande based on the wishes of the National Refuge Office. So we're all good there, and we have fantastic weather ahead of us for the weekend, and it's going to just continue to roll through Friday, Saturday, and of course for the races on Sunday. We're going to put this whole thing up to about 9 episodes, which is going to be an epic series, the most we've ever done here on YouTube, with coverage of our 26th annual Key West Poker Run. This is Stu Jones. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our sponsors, Mercury Racing as our presenting sponsor, and of course to Off Lease Only as our grand prize sponsor, and of course to all of the leading manufacturers in the performance marine sector who continually support this event year after year. Thank you to all of you, and we're going to have more time to showcase some of your products in the future episodes. So remember to stay tuned here on YouTube for upcoming episodes. You can go on and find us at Florida Powerboat Club on YouTube, and remember to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell. That way you'll continue to get the updates every time a new episode comes out. You can also find us on Facebook at Florida Powerboat Club and on Instagram at Stu FPC, FL Powerboat, and FPC Girls. And most importantly, all of the information about upcoming events and membership is all on the club website at flpowerboat.com. This is Stu Jones. Thanks for watching, and feel free to share your comments to me personally at stu@flpowerboat.com. Remember to be safe out there and always wear your life jackets. Bye for now.